used to say good morning to a teacher that really impacted them the most when they were growing up. And I'm sure your kids will mention you, Isaba, when they are older. But let me begin with you. Is there any teacher, one teacher who you feel, if she hadn't been around or he hadn't been around, all of this wouldn't have happened?
I'll say Mrs. Cecilia Toga. She was an English teacher at Holy Child School. And apart from the fact that she was a lovely teacher, great teacher, she was very motherly. And, to travel all the way from Accra, go to a school located on the hills for 3 months without just stepping out, to have people like her was just comforting.
I heard of Miss Toga.
Yes.
I think I met Miss Toga. Mrs. Toga.
Yes.
When she was in Holy Child, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, and she was, because I met her through Writers and Debaters Club.
Yes.
It was a very strict woman, I must say. How do you have any teacher you want to celebrate?
Oh, it's funny enough, my English teacher as well, back in secondary school. She taught us literature, and her name was Mrs. Annan. And for me, she made me appreciate not just the reading and characters and all of that, but to appreciate people for the unique traits that they have. Because she was able to take a book, and by the time we're through to the end, you really understood why people do certain things. So for me, that's been very, very useful to me. Even
Miss
in my
Annan.
working life, Mrs. Annan.
Mrs. Annan.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's not just about the school things that she taught, but it was also about what she taught you about
beyond
life.
People, yes, what you see.
I don't know if it's because they teach literature, but there's always an opportunity to go beyond what people say or do when you're learning subjects like that. And I don't know, because I was just thinking that the teacher I'd like to celebrate as well was my English teacher in class 6, Miss Sarah Daniels at the time. Very, very tough woman. I remember her shouting at us a couple of times. But she's one of the first people who taught me, who I loved the way she spoke. She's one of the first people that made me notice how people speak, and people can speak in a very nice way. I remember very well that I just loved how she spoke. And there were a lot of teachers after that, but I would always remember how she just speaks, how she mentions words. And today, one of my favorite descriptions for myself is words excite me.
Yeah.
So if it started from class 6, then I think Miss Daniels deserves a boza. Malik, is it yourself?
I sense all three of you don't like maths.
Oh, Mr. Gazy. Good morning, Mr. Gazy.
All three of you. Maths phobia.
You see what we live with. No, you see what we live with in this house. You see what we live with.
You're right.
How did you even get to this
Except no one is denying what I said.
No.
Sometimes when I wonder how I ended up in an engineering classroom, I ask myself, why? What was I looking for in the world? I mean, Charlie, who was your favorite teacher?
My favorite teacher, Salifu B. Kwame. Unfortunately, he's late. And the circumstance of his passing, shocking. So I go to Y and then I call my mom, who is in the Upper East region, and she says, try and look for Salifu B. Kwame because he liked you when you were a student. And then I go and look for the man. They said, the man died last month.
Oh.
Yeah, cardiac arrest.
But what stood out about him for you?
Okay, so I was in a village school. He was the only trained teacher in the entire school, both primary and JHS. And he had time for everyone. He would make the time because he was the eye of the village and he made room for everybody. And I liked him because he taught me small French. And I always liked to be different. And he had done French in Nandom Secondary, so he could teach me French, and I liked him because of that. But I liked him primarily because he managed both primary and JHS as the only trained teacher in both schools, and he managed those schools very well, and he produced people like me. Salifu
Amazing.
Kwame, wherever he is. God keep his soul.
God keep your soul, Mr. Salifu B. Kwame. I'm going to read this one from Anil Sabote. He says, today is World Teachers Day. I want to remember my teacher, John Amede, formerly of St. Paul's Methodist, Tema. He gave me confidence to overcome my fears more than 20 years ago. Now, I have a question. Imagine if Anil Sabote was too afraid to say the things he says today.
Even him.
Hey, John Amede, God bless you, because the
No,
things
thank
this
you.
man can say. And tonight, Ani will be co-hosting Joy Hangouts, the first edition of Joy FM Hangouts with Nana Red Damwa. You guys don't want to miss it, because the Pram Pram Fisherman will meet the writer of our time. It will be one that you need to
Nana
hear.
Red Damwa.
Nana Red Damwa.
My eternal critic and friend.
So, guys, I'm glad we started on this note, because all of us have mentioned persons who did not just do their jobs, who went beyond what they did. Because there's an English teacher who speaks well. We know English teachers who can speak English. There's an English teacher who speaks well. There's someone who teaches you about the world and about people. There's someone who goes beyond his subject and teaches French. There seems to be a running theme of attitude and how people take the jobs that they do. Isabel, let me start with you. Do you think that this spirit is here? In just a minute, I just want to take initial comments, and then we'll go to the comments that I was sent on Facebook. In just a minute, do you think that people go above and beyond in their duty today?
I think it's missing now in our society. It's missing. I think Malik mentioned this teacher went beyond just teaching them what he has to teach and give them French and the extras. I also mentioned this. Mrs. Toga was not just an English teacher, but was more than that. Gave us that assurance that we could be better people and all. But now I think it's more. I don't know whether I would say it's the hardship, but people think, okay, this is it. This is my job. This is what I have to do, and that is it. I'm paid to do A, B, and C, and after A, B, and C, that is it. I just have to take my money and then just go home. But I think that spirit isn't there any longer.
How have you seen that it isn't there?
Let me give an example of a story somebody mentioned to me. So we're talking about a school for my oldest daughter. She's in secondary school now. So she mentioned that she had gone around looking for schools, and then she came to this school, and she was told that this school is good, but then the teacher turnover was quite high. So she said she spoke to the headmistress and said, no, call them. And what she mentioned was that the headmistress says she believes that if a teacher is paid to teach in a school, every child was a teacher's responsibility. So you don't leave any child behind. If that child is lagging behind in English or math or whatever, it was the teacher's duty to make sure that that child goes with the class, or probably do whatever you can to help this child. But then he said what was happening was that some of the teachers would say, oh, okay, this child isn't doing so well. So we speak to the parents and say, I can organize some extra classes. So that aspect of extra money comes in. So I can organize something so that your child will catch up with the class. But no, it is your duty as a teacher to get every child going.
Okay.
So every child is not left behind. So that's like an example I'm
Yeah.
giving. But that is it. So the teacher is paid to teach, but then you go more than teaching. You go beyond just going to stand in front of the board and then just teaching A, B, and C and then just leave. It's the child's future. It's every child's future. They might have different paths, Some may be very high.
Okay.
Some may be just in the middle. Others will be low. But
Okay.
you can still, there's also that possibility to pull that child.
Bring everyone along
exactly.
as much as possible.
Exactly. And every child has that potential,
I read when Singapore topped the world's ranking, the OECD, the World Education Ranking, a description was made about their teachers. They said every teacher who enters a classroom in Singapore enters with the firm belief that every child in this class will succeed. Do you think that things are the way Isaba describes them because people don't believe that we can succeed, whether you're teaching or you are driving a car?
Oh, I appreciate where Isaba is coming from. It does look like there's, a missing link to how people go over and beyond, in order to help others or influence kids and all of that. But economics plays a big role in it. At the end of the day, the person has some needs to meet. You would find out that you meet people out there in the streets who are willing to help. I mean, in areas that they are not, is not necessarily, their responsibility, but they are willing to help. I mean, take, for example, this morning when I was coming in, I made a wrong turn, and there were a few hawkers who were by the side of the road, so I had to stop, briefly to ask for directions. And they could have ignored me and gone on their usual business because they have money to make. But yeah, they were helpful, showed me the right way to go. And unfortunately, there was a trotro behind me, and they kept on honking. So these women took up the fight on my behalf. It's like, hey, cool down. She's just asking for directions. So there are people who are actually, or there's a lot of people out there who try to help when they can. But then in the teacher's example that she's given, it's difficult. Extra classes means giving more of your time. More of your time, you could have spent that time to make some money to take care of your kids. So when you should situate that in that context, it's not as easy to be as helpful as you'd want to. And then this Singapore that you brought in, some teachers are willing to stay or work
as
overtime.
long as it takes.
Yes, but then you need, aside your time or your input, the input that you make to teaching the kids, you need tools and equipment, you need a comfortable class. That is not there. So in as much as you put in effort, the results that come out will determine if it's even worth it.
Okay. So I get the sense from Awo that there's a silver lining that we need to look out for, Malik. Interesting comments that I read once, that the Ghanaian would be very willing to help you if it's not his job. Take these hawkers who helped Awo. Imagine if your car broke down in the middle of the street. I mean, then you will know the hospitality of Ghanaians. But when you get to your destination and you meet a security man who is supposed to direct you, it's mostly very difficult to get him to do what he's paid to do. Malik, why do you think this is so?
The answer is in your question. We would do things that ordinarily we're not expected to do. Those we are expected to do, we wouldn't do. And the submissions by both of them exemplify that or amplify that. Let's take Esaba's point about a teacher who is supposed to teach, who is now saying, I will do extra classes. Why is the extra classes necessary? If you did your job well, will there be a need to do extra classes? And if the person who is supposed to teach has a motivation to do extra classes and make more money, isn't there then a motivation for him not to do well in the time that he is paid to do? Because if he does extra classes, that's extra money for him. So he will not execute his responsibilities in the teaching period because he wants the children to lag behind so that he can organize extra classes and make more money. And I've had to deal with a case where a teacher tells a parent, let me take your child extra classes so that I can help him. When they are writing exams, I can give him foreknowledge of the questions. So this teacher, motivated by extra money in his pocket, is actually willing to corrupt the child for his own benefit. I am not saying all teachers do this, but I am saying if a teacher can say, I will do extra classes, and the teacher knows that if he doesn't teach all the lessons he's supposed to teach, in the period that he's supposed to teach them, he will teach extra classes and make extra money. He will do exactly that. So he will not teach well in the course of the time. And that appears to be our bane, that we will only do those things where we will get extra money. That when people get a job The thinking is that the salary is guaranteed. Whatever they make on a daily basis is the money they are working for. So you go into an office, if you do not look like somebody who will make extra payment, if you do not look like somebody who will part with money, if the person does not believe that they will make extra money from you, then the job will not be done. Of course, there's a silver lining. You have people who will still do their job, but the preponderance of view is that many of us won't do it. And we won't go the extra mile. And it is the extra mile which makes the difference.
Well, the extra mile makes the difference. So how do we go the extra mile as a nation? We want to deal with these questions, and this is the kind of conversation I will be having. Very quickly, I just had a text on the console from I think Hannah was a year ahead of me in Chapel Hill School, and she says that, oh yes, it certainly has to be Miss Daniels in Chapel Hill Class 6. She gave her this confidence about words and turned most of us into logo files. Okay, Hannah, I'll have to Google that word, but I'm sure it's very, very... I'm sure it's very true about you, at least. So you can also send in your messages. Is there any teacher, any Ghanaian that you want to celebrate? But like I said earlier, Jerry Ajay sent us a comment on Facebook. We're going to do the whole thing when we come back. But look at what he says about corruption. He says, corruption today is endemic in our country. It has become a lifestyle of the Ghanaian, and it's sad to say there's no end in sight. Daniel, the young man who finished Legon University, has one thing on his mind: to go into politics and become fabulously rich, because he saw a friend who just got there and has become rich overnight. Do you think that properly captures our state as a nation? I see a Saba nodding. But we'll try and answer that question when we come back from these messages. Before we do that, it's said that we don't wait to buy land and wait. King Cities Real Estate Limited is organizing an estate fair for its cherished customers and the general public. Seeing is believing. Come and earn up to 20% discount when you pay on site during the fair. Prizes will be given to customers who come early. There will be a free tour around the site. Don't be worried about locating the site, because there will be free buses available. Just meet the team in front of Central University Gate at Mucho. Date is tomorrow and Sunday, 6th and 7th October 2018. Time is 9 a.m. prompt and 12 noon respectively. Site location, the Royal City, after Central University Pram Pram. Call 0500 30 4441 or 0500 30 4446 for more information. King Cities Real Estate Limited, your number one destination for property buyers. Mega oh mega. Mega oh mega. CFAO Motors do am again. You know say you go fit get 30,000 kilometers free servicing anytime you buy a Tier Rubber Suzuki or Mitsubishi car from CFAO Motors. Prices start from $7,500 Ghana cedi equivalent per. With this offer, you can forget all the mechanic and spare parts wahala. Your peace of mind is assured. Call CFAO Motors or 030-274-2100 or visit our showrooms at Accra, Kumasi and Takrady. Terms and conditions apply. CFAO Ghana, official distributors of Suzuki, Mitsubishi and Citroen vehicles. We'll be back after these messages to deal with the issues on the table. Stay with us.
I want you to first think big, not small. Think of how great we can be when we work together. Together, we can ensure that our hard work will provide a better future. Together, we can provide a foundation for you and your business to succeed, regardless of its size. Together, we can create opportunities for all. Bank with us today and let's journey forward together.
Forward together.
Cowbank, forward together.
It's time to own a hotel-inspired apartment near Accra Mall and switch on your urban life with a cool price starting from 315,000 Ghana cedis. Yes, you heard me. Choose our market-leading studio, 1, 2, or 3-bedroom apartment from Oasis Park Condominium at Tetakwashi and enjoy urban resort life. For this and more, call Evelyn on 0204 343 011 or Kojo on 0204 343 008. This is another catered development by CPL Developers. CPL Developers, built for life.
Every champ tries for the knockout. That's what they train for. Sweat for, always looking for that one opening that wins the fight. Today, there's a new kid on the block. They call him the Beast, and he's done the incredible. He's unbeaten. Now, you too can do the incredible with Yakata. For as little as $1 Ghana CD recharge, you get free unlimited Glow-to-Glow calls, free 250 megabytes data, free calls to other networks. Join the Glow family with Yakata. Buy a Glow line or dial *455# if you are an existing subscriber.
The grandmasters of data. Glow.
Super Morning Show. Hi!
We are the Yale Whiffenpoofs.
And you're listening to the Super Morning Show with Daniel Daze.
Live on Joy 99.7.
Minutes to the top of the hour here on the Super Morning Show. Enjoy 99.7 FM. I am Daniel Daze here with Awo Isaba and Malik. We're talking about the Ghana we want versus the Ghana we have. Where are we now? How do we get there? Whose fault is it? Is it anyone's fault at all? Most importantly, what do we have to do? Your comments are welcome on 0244340437. Tweet at us at Joy997FM. Go on our Facebook page, Joy99.7 FM. We're streaming live on Facebook as well. You can leave us a comment there. Let me say a happy birthday to Natasha Gay, wishing you the very best in life. And we want to tell you that we love you. Your real definition of who a friend should be from MFA Nancy Jadosi. Good morning. Please kindly wish Mr. Richard Obing, assuming the CEO of Astrolinks International, a happy birthday. He happens to be one of our listeners in Kumasi. Also, happy birthday to Patrick Oredo of Zenith Bank East Legon branch. Happy birthday to everyone. We celebrate you this morning. So many messages coming through about the teachers you're celebrating. I think we'll need to dedicate some time at the end of the show to deal with these messages in entirety. So you can send them in, any teacher that you want to celebrate. And Malik, this one is for you. Tell Malik I resigned from being his critic a decade ago. Nana Ared Damwa sent that one. Good morning, Nana Ared Damwa. Thanks for doing the listening. We can't wait to listen to you tonight when you join Anio Sabute on the Joy FM Hangouts, a maiden edition at 7 p.m. So let's get down to the issues. Let me read to you this message Jerry Ajay sent us on Facebook, and I'm going to read it in entirety. It's a bit long, but bear with us. He says, I listened to Honorable Elvis Ifriye Ankra yesterday on the issues of corruption and how power brokers or political financiers are made to dictate the pace on who gets what as far as contracts for projects are concerned, and I feel like crying for our country. Corruption today is endemic in our country. It has become a lifestyle of the Ghanaian, and it's sad to say there are no ends in sight. Daniel, the young man who finished Legon University, has one thing on his mind: to go into politics and become fabulously rich because he saw a friend who just got there and has become rich overnight. We heard allegations of corruption against the previous government of the NDC being trumpeted daily and weekly on multimedia, with the then NPP opposition in the forefront. I have always held the view that corruption should be punished and punished very well, irrespective of who is involved, being it NPP or NDC. Now fast forward to the current administration. The posture of our current president when he was looking for power with the mantra of incorruptible and what have you. When we came to power and you want to make money illegally, it can't be public service. But you can do that in the private sector, unquote. Remember that quotes, that thing the president repeatedly said?
Yeah.
But when we come to power, I mean. But truth remains that his administration has been hit with issues of corruption, in his view, more than any other government in the Fourth Republic. Punishment. Most people expected the government was going to crack the whip, so it will serve as a deterrent to those who might want to follow the same trend. But shockingly and surprisingly, he, the president, will be the first person to come to their defense and hurriedly go ahead and clear them instead of allowing proper and independent investigation. So this has emboldened a lot of people in his government, and corruption keeps rather going very high. The media today has suddenly become the defender of government when issues of corruption comes up. And here, I choose to use multimedia as an example because I recollect vividly the kind of job we did. And I'm using we here. He says they did. When the then previous government was in power, not to talk about the Ford issue on former President Mahama, trivial as it was, you thought it should be taken, you should take the responsibility to investigate and bring out the truth or otherwise to the Ghanaian. But what are we seeing today? How many alleged cases of corruption against this government has any member of multimedia made it a duty to want to investigate and get to the bottom of it, damn the consequences? Let's all develop the posture of readiness to punish and expose corruption wherever we are and wherever it happens, and Mother Ghana will be the beneficiary. A bit painful to read at the end, but it had to be read. Our next comments there. Thank you very much, Jerry Ajay, for sending in that comment. You can also send in yours on 0244340437. Go on our Facebook page. Tweet at us at Joy997FM. Let me begin with you this time, Malik. So let's start really from where we are. Where do you think we are as a nation today? What is our current state?
We are a giant whose wings have been clipped. We are a great people who have not explored our potential. We are a great nation with a great history, which has become complacent and taking everything for granted. That's who I think we are. And you read Jerry Ajay's comments about us and corruption and mindset. For me, the biggest challenge we face is mindset. What is the Ghanaian's mindset? In every society, labor is valued as a virtue because it is through labor that you earn your keep. And there is honor in labor, and there is honor in earning your keep and doing so decently. Unfortunately, we have evolved a culture where it is entirely acceptable for people to assume that they can make money however they make it without labor. In fact, it is the expectation of many that they will make money even if they don't have to work for it. So we are in a competition where everybody is competing to put themselves in a position where they can make money that they have not earned.
Okay.
And unfortunately, we have a system
Right.
which does not punish that kind of behavior, but actually rewards it. So if you make your money, however you make it, you are entitled to enjoy it in peace.
Right.
Even if you made your money through foul, crooked, illegal means, you are entitled to enjoy it without any disturbances.
And might I add, you may not even just enjoy it in peace, you may be celebrated for it on top.
Absolutely.
Let me move to Awo now. So when I asked Malik, he, in a nutshell, says we have a lot of potential, but we haven't reached anywhere, and that is basically because of the mindsets that we carry. Awo, where do you think we are? Do you think the picture is that gloomy?
Yes, I agree with Malik to a large extent. It's very painful to hear all sorts of stories in the news, monies that have been allegedly misappropriated or diverted to other areas, and it's just individuals who've benefited. And then on the other hand, you see people who are in need, and so many excuses are being made as to why things can't be as good as we all want it to. It's very, very painful. I think our leaders, so far, it's been very disappointing. The promises and comparisons to other, even comparing to other nations we've come, we've progressed with. You see, compared to Rwanda or Tanzania now, a few years ago, it was pretty much the same story we had. Now we see all the difference, the impacts their leaders are making, and you bring it down here to Ghana, and it's something else.
So you think the difference between those nations and Ghana was leadership?
Yes, to a very, very large. It needs to start from the top and then trickle down to the so-called ordinary Ghanaians.
Okay. I'll be opening the phone lines for you to also comment on this. 0302-216-541 later on in the show. So, but you can text in your comments if, as and when they come now. So Malik calls it a mindset issue. Awo does a lateral comparison. Ghana versus other nations then and now. And then she calls it a leadership issue. It's about, what do you call it? Where are we now? And what's the issue?
I think it's a gloomy picture, but there's hope. Hope in the sense that when leaders change their mindset, or when we as a people have a different mindset, things can be changed. It's not late, I believe. Malik said it's a mindset thing, and I agree with him. And I also think that, like Awo also mentioned, leadership. I also agree with her. Leadership in the sense that, one, if you are in leadership, you have privileges that the ordinary person hasn't got. So if you are put out up there, and then there are things that you have to do, we all look up to you because we all cannot be in leadership at the same time. So if you have the opportunity, then you have that burden to do as much as you can for the people. But in what we see now is the opposite. So people go there, people get there, and it's for me. It's me, not the people who puts that person there. So I think if we should come to a point where we all realize that we failed as a people, we failed ourselves, I think we can start to make a headway. We can start making some changes.
Malik, I know you have a comments, but let me ask this. This morning, when I was asking George the same question, some of these same questions, he mentioned how the leaders are a product of the people. Let me give you a typical example. If someone becomes a minister today, the number of people who will line up in front of his house looking for one favor or the other. And I'll tell you a story before I ask my question. Takwan Swayem NPP primaries, the one that had Mweku Duka in power, that brought Mweku Duka to as MP candidate. Parliamentary candidate, and had Gifty removed. Gifty Kusi removed. Good. I was speaking to delegates who told me that they received as much as mobile phones. And one of these delegates tells me, these phones that I've received from him, now if he becomes MP, he would want to recoup these monies. But what can we say? So have we not placed a sort of demand on our leaders, putting us in this predicament?
Daniel, and it's one of the scary things for me about our politics. go to Parliament when the House is sitting. Go and take the visitors book and see the number of people who have come to visit a particular MP, particularly the MPs from rural communities. It is scary. Every single one of these people have a direct need that they expect the MP to provide for. And yet we know that the MP does not have a pot of money or resources sitting anywhere that he can use to solve these problems. And when you hear people complain about their MP, it is because the MP is unable to solve their immediate problems. And it is true. So many people, as Awo puts out, are in need. So many are in need. And it is practically impossible for the MP or any politician, be minister, MP, deputy minister, DCE, to foot the bills directly. Unfortunately, you have a huge pool of people who are in need. What do the politicians now do? Wherever they can find the money, and that takes us to the argument we had yesterday. Wherever you can find the money, go and take it and give to the people, because that's the only reason, the only way that people will vote you back into office and you want to remain in office. So if you have to take the money from the devil, take it and give to the people. But you see, money is not plucked from trees. When they take that money from the contractor and now you say they should fix your road, and they bring the same contractor to fix your road, remember the MP has taken money, or the minister has taken money from this contractor. He has shared the money amongst you. He has kept some to take care of his own family. The road will not be properly done. In the end, we are the poorer for it. So that raises my slight disagreement with both Awo and Sabia when they talk about leadership. I think we narrow the leadership down to political leadership, and I think that is problematic. That is problematic because, and I gave you the figures, who are the political leaders? You have 110 ministers, you have the president and the vice president, you have 260 metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives, you have 275 MPs. Who else do you have? Those are your political leaders. And these people are supposed to take decisions for almost 30 million people. Okay. If the 30 million of us decide that we will not do that which is right, if in our private companies, in our personal businesses, in the public office, all of us won't put in the hard, diligent, honest work, and you ask the question, is the Ghanaian worker diligent? If the plumber you call to come and fix your problems won't do a good job, there's absolutely nothing that the political leadership can do to fix that.
So answer this question for me. Are we corrupt as a people?
It's a difficult question. But going back to my earlier argument about a belief that we can make money which we have not earned, you may as well say we are inherently corrupt. Because very many of us want to take from where we have not sowed. And you heard Auditor General Domelevo say, in Ghanaian parlance, we say, Obie didi we nejimomu. But some of us,
we eat the job.
And it is sad to just walk into a shop, go to Central Business District and walk into a shop to buy. The attendant there is the one who is telling you that, oh, I can help you get this product elsewhere at a cheaper price. The person is an attendant in a shop and he's supposed to earn.
And we will call the person helpful and tip him.
Yes.
Malik, let me move to Awo. I have such an interesting message here. Okay, so you people, I want to read it in a voice I hear in my head. You people are making people asking politicians for money look like a big deal. You, Daniel Daze, those people call you every day complaining they don't have food to eat. And that their children are going to school and so give them money just because they hear you on radio. Does that mean you should go and steal money and come and give to them? Politicians are not the only ones under such pressure. if you want to use public pressure as justification for corruption, then no non-corrupt person will remain in this country because everyone is under pressure, not the politicians alone. Okay, so you didn't add your name. You sent me this through someone. Perhaps it's a question I was asking, and I was using that to create a context to ask the question that, are we all corrupt as a people? That is what I was trying to find out. But would you say these comments are justified in saying politicians cannot use people's demands as an excuse?
I'll just continue from where Malik ended, saying that people want to, spend money they haven't earned? Yes. I also want to turn it around and say it's more of people believing that they are entitled to money that should come to them. And by that entitlement, you get from the fact that you're a citizen, you pay your taxes, you exert your civic rights and responsibilities when you have to. If I am a resident or part of a community and who's been living there with political, say anybody who's now got an opportunity to serve in power, and I see a sudden upgrade in their lifestyle, and then when it comes to me, money to pay my kids' fees, the roads, things that affect me, I don't see any change. No, I am going to wait in front of their gate every single day, expecting to be heard and to be helped. Okay. Because I see that your life has improved. And it's with the same resources that's supposed to benefit everybody. So it's not about being corrupt. It's not about asking for money to go for vacations or to indulge in the luxuries of life. It's money that covers the basic necessities. Money for rent, for school fees, for food. So I don't agree that we are corrupt people. If it's money that's going to go all the way to help me take care of my children, yes, I will do that.
Daniel, can I usurp your power and ask our question here? So that's for the politician.
Yes.
If I went to, say, the passport office, and just citing an example, and an officer there who is paid, the person is entitled to a monthly salary, and the person or GRA or any of these offices, public offices, and the person there openly demands from me, what are you giving me? Or the person makes it impossible for me to get the service in good time, and then manipulate me to give them, you give me something, I'll get it for you in quick time. That is a Ghanaian.
Okay,
but that is not a politician.
Okay, wait, Malik.
I'll come in here. Whose life just changed.
You give me back my power. I gave it to you for a minute. No, I'm coming in here because I feel you are changing the question. We had a point of politicians feeling pressured to act the way they do. And a very valid point was made that because I see what I was saying. These are basic necessities politicians should provide on a large scale. So everyone should be able to pay the children's school fees, get access to education, quality healthcare, let's say a well-paying job. If that is not there, and they come to you that now you take it out of your funds and give it to me personally because I see that your life has improved, it makes sense to an extent. We are going to deal with this one that you mentioned. Because away from that, it's about people are generally also displaying a certain sort of character. I'm going to beg that you do this for me in 30 seconds. I need to go for the Joy Business Minutes. Or should I go and come? You won't get time to it, okay? Okay. I love it when my panelists understand. And by the way, Malik, this message is for you. Please say kudos to Malik. He's my man from the Moments, from Nana Oforiwa Kranting. Oh, Nana, we miss you. Remember, Nana, we spoke to her in Kofi Bento.
Yes.
Good morning, Nana, we miss you. Yes, it was this week. Have you spoken to Kofi Benzo since you came here? All right then. We're going to take the Joy Business Minute and then we'll come back and deal with more issues. But do you want to pursue a higher education abroad? Do you want to kickstart your studies in January 2019 or September 2019? Then kickstart your academic excellence by attending the Study World UKAS Study Abroad Fair on Tuesday, 9th October 2018. And now attend this October 2018 Study World Study Abroad Fair. Meet with representatives from over 40 universities and colleges from USA, Canada, UK, Ireland and Australia. The venue is Kempinski Hotel, Gold Coast City. The date is Tuesday, 9th October 2018. The time is 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pre-register now for fast-track entry at ukas.com.gh/registration or call 0243 245 355 or 0508 976 300. Come along with academic credentials. Entry is free. The Joy Business Minute comes off now. Then we'll take some messages. We'll be right back.
Hi, it's Daryl and Sheila.
Good morning. Welcome to the Joy Business Minute.
Government has justified the decision to bail out depositors of insolvent savings and loans companies. This is after it was established that almost 13 billion cedis has been spent to support the 7 liquidated banks.
The head of communications at gold dealership firm Men's Gold, George Quay, has resigned. We understand that he tendered in his resignation yesterday. It is, however, not clear what may have influenced his decision.
The leadership of the Ghana Mine Workers Union and the board chairman of Precious Minerals Marketing Company are expected to this morning continue a meeting to deliberate on a petition presented by the staff. They are asking the president to sack the company's MD, Kwadwo Parry-Hammond.
Dr. Gideon Amenyodo has officially retired as executive vice chairman of Vanguard Assurance. During the 40th anniversary launch of Vanguard, he urged directors of insurance companies to draw some lessons from the shake-up in the banking sector to remain in operation.
All the best, Dr. Amenyodo.
And catch you again at 3:06.
Do you want to explore the many opportunities renewable energy technologies come with? The Ghana Renewable Energy Fair is here again. Organized by the Energy Commission and the Ministry of Energy on the 9th to 11th of October, the fair would be held at the Accra International Conference Center under the theme Renewable Energy, Exploiting Energy Resources at the District Level. Highlights of the event would include educative technical sessions, innovative policy debates, and many more. Attendance for this event is absolutely free. This event is partnered by GIZ, ECG, NETCO, main sponsors, Wilkins Engineering, and the CREE. Media partners, Joy News, Joy FM, Star FM, Daily Graphic, and Business and Financial Times. For more details on exhibition, participation, and sponsorship, contact 020-518-17799 or 020-9846-454.
Grab your complete bathroom solutions from Jacua with 10 years unmatched warranty. Jacua offers world-class showers, faucets, sanitary ware, and all your bathroom accessories. Visit X Interior Design Showrooms, Main Spintex Road and Kojo Thompson Road, and get your Jacua fittings now. Or call 055-250-9566 or 023-684-5512. Jacua, complete bathroom solutions.
Labadi Beach Hotel, in partnership with Joy FM, brings you Oktoberfest 2018. Catch all the fun with German food and drinks live at the Labadi Beach Hotel this October. It's Friday, 5th October from 5 p.m. till midnight and Saturday, 6th October from 2 p.m. till midnight. Performing live is the amazing Schlutz and Flitzer band from Germany. There will be lots of fun for the kids too. For inquiries and bookings, please call 0544 431213 or 0540-123691. It's Oktoberfest 2018. Come, let's celebrate!
Perhaps you're here for the amazing food or the shopping. Or perhaps you're here for the business opportunities that can come your way. Either way, it's a great time to travel. Now enjoy special fares in Emirates Economy and Business to the Far East. Book by 8th October 2018 for travel until 31st March 2019. Visit emirates.com/gh. Conditions apply. Fly Emirates for a world of good times.
Batimat has worked for over 30 years, making sure your safety is guaranteed by choosing the best suppliers. we only stock quality and original electrical products from our official importers, Ingilec and Legrand. So for your cables, light bulbs, breakers, and all electrical products, rely on us, and we will never let you down. Batimat, everything for construction, from foundation to finishing.
Ghana has always suffered from internet disruptions. You've experienced it, and here is the unfortunate truth. Unreliable internet could cost Ghanaians and their businesses up to $6.3 million every day. Fortunately, here is another truth. Yaklik, Africa's #1 internet service, connects via satellite, giving your business reliable internet connectivity every day. And it's now available in Ghana. Yaklik, let's unlock your potential. Visit yaklik.com to know more. Information source, CIPIZA.
It's your day off and you end up looking after the baby while your wife goes off to work. You realize you have no idea how to change a diaper. So you video call your wife.
Hello, darling.
Yeah, hello. Hello.
Kojo, is everything all right?
Everything is not all right. I'm not seeing Topo. How do I change a baby's diaper, please?
Kojo. Okay, first, put the diaper.
The video call freezes. While you wait for the internet to catch up, the baby sprouts a fountain and wets the diaper. As you are getting a new one, your wife comes back online.
Kojo, no.
But I had to go and get a new diaper. What must I do next? I beg, quick.
Open the front of the diaper. It's the side that has...
Wow, look. The video freezes again. Abba.
By now, you know where the conversation is going. There's no buffering in real life, so why accept it from your internet connection? Get connected and experience ultra-fast internet to your home, powered by MTN Fiber Broadband. From the Internet Masters.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Many DVLA customers have tried and tested the new...
Good day, my one and only human resource manager.
Good day, Abna.
It just occurred to me, now that our colleague is no more, what's going to happen to his wife and children?
Oh, that one. The company has a unique Glyco Group comprehensive insurance cover for staff. And the good news is that Glyco Life has already paid a claim for our late colleague, so his family will be well taken care of financially.
Wow, this is so relieving to hear.
Yes, the Glyco Group comprehensive plan provides a 24-hour adequate group life cover for employees or members of associations. Should any employee be injured in an accident, suffer disability, terminal diseases like heart attack, stroke, kidney failure, or even death, Glyco Group comprehensive plan will pay substantial benefits to them or their beneficiaries. Moreover, the plan also takes care of our company's legal liability under the Workmen's Compensation Act. Abna, close your mouth.
Amazing. Keep up the good work.
So, my fellow corporate human resource managers and executives, call Glyco Life on 020-222-113 or 050-125-6336. Email to customer services at glycogroup.com or grouplife@glycolife.com to have your employees covered under the Glyco Group Comprehensive Plan.
At Afrodan, we believe that many of the problems people have with their health is as a result of the way they sit. In other words, your chair can kill you. Here's Dr. Marcus Mann of the Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
What you have to remember is that the spine is the lifeline to your body, and posture is the window to that spine. Now, posture is affected by your daily activities and habits like sitting. That's why at the Chiropractic and Wellness Centers, we recommend what I believe to be the best chairs available for preventing not only subluxations, but also other health problems that you may not be aware of. And that's Rabami and Mobilex chairs. Unfortunately, on a daily basis, I have to correct the effects of this poor sitting habit in our businessmen and businesswomen. Always remember, optimal spine equals optimum health.
So, for the sake of your health, buy Rabami or Mobilex chairs from Afrodan. We are on the first floor of the Swansea Shopping Arcade. Telephone 663-085.
LPG is a safe source of energy, only when used right. Do not neglect any safety tips when using LPG. Smell and check for gas leakage before using your stove. When you smell gas, ventilate the room. Do not turn electrical switches on or off. This could spark a fire. Extinguish all naked flame and immediately call a qualified technician to service your stove. Use soapy water to check for gas leakage. When bubbles appear, you have a leak. Check your hose regularly for cracks and change hose at least once in 2 years. Always light your match before you turn on your gas cooker. Always keep your regulator off when not in use. A message from the National Petroleum Authority.
coffee in your cup, and Joy on the set, the Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7.
Welcome back to the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. I am Daniel Dazi. Here are my friends Malik Abbas Dabo, Awo, and Isaba. We're talking about Ghana. Is Ghana's abysmal state of development solely as a result of poor leadership or irresponsible citizens, or both? You can send in your comments on that on 0244 340 437. Tweet at us at Joy997FM. Go on our Facebook page, Joy 99.7 FM. I want to read this message. It says, okay, this one is, I doff my hat off to Mr. Lindsay wherever he is. I also wanted to be a science student when I did my first years of secondary school. My math acumen was poor, on an average of 40% wasn't good. I met Mr. Lindsay, who was a maths teacher at the time. The encouragement he gave me and my resolve took me from D to a top A within 6 months. Wow. At one point in school, I was made a TA to help fellow students who were less endowed. God bless him where he might be. So from trading to becoming a TA. Give me back that one. It says, good morning, Daniel. I'm so sorry to say this, but our Ghanaian culture is corrupt by default and does cut across the whole socio-econo-political spectrum of our country to include even our churches. For instance, you can't go to the chief's house empty-handed. And how do you call that in our definition of corruption? In fact, this is an endless debate. Good morning from Andy. Let me take this issue of churches and religion in general because it plays a major role here. It's about, have we taken religion to absurd limits? Wow. It's quite a question, My friend, I have a friend who will say it this way. It's a very, very question. It's a very question.
It's as deep and deep and deep and deep. But I think so. I believe so. I think that whole thing of not you want to reap where you've not sown already, and then you go to church. I think there was just a story somebody mentioned some time ago about somebody going to somebody who had robbed or something, and went and there was called. I think the church, the pastor was calling for people to bring in some money, like donate or something, and then this guy goes and then says, "Oh, pastor," the pastor clearly knew that this guy didn't have a job, but then comes in with this huge money, and there are no questions asked. Money is taken because he's helping and in the name of God. And then I know people will say, "Oh, sometimes you never know. God works in mysterious ways." I think we cover up a lot of our problems with
religion.
With religion.
And it's difficult to question, so it's difficult to have a conversation about it sometimes.
It is.
What do you think? Do you think that religion sometimes enables some things that people do which are wrong?
Well, I think you can be religious or spiritual, however you want it, and be rational at the same time. The state of churches and how the operations currently are, it's a problem. But as you're saying, it's difficult to talk about it because faith is a very personal issue, and you can't even say you're trying to convince someone to see your argument or to agree with you. It's a personal belief that someone has. But as much as possible, whatever expectations you have of, just linking it to our previous conversation on politicians, we should translate same to our religious leaders. You're going to church every Sunday in between the services for this and that. there's offertory, there's tithing, there's this, there's that. What is the money being used for? I think we can ask those questions. There's nothing wrong with our religious leaders being accountable.
It was asked once in a church I was in. They said, when you sow a seed, you don't dig up the ground to see how the seed is doing.
Is it being used for the benefit of the church members, or do you see only one person benefiting? And I think once we're more once we're more open-minded. Yeah, not bold. That's not the word I was looking for.
We wanted to say open-minded.
Yeah, so maybe open-minded and more
transparent.
Transparent, yes, fine. Transparent. Then it would be able to see things for the way they are and not just follow blindly because it's faith and it has to do with God.
Malik, is it okay? Isaba wants to come in here.
Yeah,
right.
I think we've also moved away from that culture of asking questions. I don't know whether it boils down to our culture. I
was going to ask, was it ever in our culture?
That's, even if a grown-up does something which clearly a child can see is wrong, you are like, no, you cannot question a grown-up. Yeah. But even if we bring in religion, in the church, if the pastor is telling you that, bring this money and I'm going to sow it where? Do you understand? And you will reap it. Sow it where, and how am I going to reap it? Okay, is it the prayer he's going to pray that will enable me reap it in my room? Okay, if that's it, then why can't I say that same prayer? Do you understand? So I think we've moved from that culture or that thing of, we should adopt that thing of asking questions. And if we should ask, then maybe if that politician comes to say something to us and tells us, makes all sorts of promises, we can ask questions. He goes 2 months, 3 months, 1 year, nothing is done. We should be bold enough as a community and say that, okay, this assemblyman, this person promised us A, B, and C. Nothing has happened after a year. Why isn't it happening? Give us reasons why it's not happening.
16 minutes past 9. I'm opening the phone lines now. 0302 216 541 0244 340 437. 0302 216 541 0244 340 437. We've been talking about the Ghana that we want. Malik, this question of religion, before the first caller comes through, this question of religion, is it religion itself or it's how we have made it?
I think it's how we have made it. All of us know that all of the major religions require of us to put in a lot of work. I'm Muslim. I know about the prophet admonishing his people to work and pursue wealth as if they will not die. I know that same is in the Bible, where we are all admonished to work hard and be diligent. And yet...
I'll let you continue, Malik, but Jacob from Accra has joined us on the line. Good morning, Jacob.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Yes, let's hear you.
I think Ghana, we need a military kind of discipline. I think the government is supposed to inject a military kind of discipline in the life of every Ghanaian, because there's a lot of like a basic attitude among the Ghanaians that we are not disciplined. We don't just take everything for granted. Workplace, the same thing. At home, the same thing. I think that's not all that.
Jacob, were we really disciplined in a military era?
I know. I heard that means that we need this
military kind of discipline applied. Okay, I understand what you're saying now. Thank you very much for calling, Jacob. Bishop is calling from Asante Mampong. Good morning, Bishop. Is Bishop on the line? Yes,
Good
Bishop,
morning.
let's hear you.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
I am blessed. How are you?
I'm also blessed by His grace. For this thing, I've heard some of your panelists saying that it has to start from the top, from leadership. But just as leadership will do their part to be truthful to the citizenry, to the ordinary man who votes them into power, the ordinary man too should do his part and be honest. We should change our attitude. Invariably, we are, I would say, Ghanaians, from the child who is born today, we all demand for services that, we all want to be provided with services by giving something out.
Okay.
And those who give those services also demand something before they give services, even they are being paid for by the taxpayer.
Right.
And this is what is killing our country.
Right. Thank you very much, Bishop, for making that submission. Salifu is calling from Koforidua. Salifu, let me ask you a question. What do you think we must do immediately if we want to see a change in the state of our nation? It can go for anyone, whether leaders or people.
Chief, what I would say is that we've all sat down for this to happen. But I feel that we should all educate our people to know that, yes, if you do this or do that, it means you are corrupting the person. Because most of the time, we do it just because we know it is a good thing. But if we educate our people that, yes, this MP or this minister is doing for you, you are right, he's rather corrupting you. Look, Nigeria in the Bible or in their newspapers, they educate people that this is corrupting. But Ghana here, we have kept quiet, especially the media people. Let's try to educate our people.
Salifu.
Yes, sir.
How effective would you say that method is in Nigeria?
Come again?
You say in Nigeria they publish education on corruption in newspapers. How effective do you think it is in that society?
They have brought awareness. Even if
How effective is that? What's the result? Is it working?
Oh, it's working. Because if I open, look, I'm a Catholic, and we have got the daily readings. If I open it, there are certain pages, it's written by Nigerians, there are certain places that they talk about corruption. So I will not be corrupt. So if we give all these leaflets, like if the road construction that we are doing, if those people in that area knows that this is the amount that government is paying the contractor, and he's not doing it well, they will complain to you, the media.
Right. Salifu, thanks for calling us from Koforidua. Collins is calling from Kumasi. Good morning, Collins.
Hello.
Hi, Collins, good morning.
Good morning, Danny.
Yes. So where do you think we should start from? What's the solution you suggest? Hi, Collins, are you here?
Okay. Thanks for your opportunity. Thanks for your opportunity.
Yes. What is your suggestion? Yeah.
My suggestion is that it's time for us to change our mindset.
We have to change our mindset.
Because if we cast our mind in South Korea, if you cast our mind in South Korea, by the time we got our independence, we were far, far better than them. But it got to them for them to change their mindset, educate their mind. That made them powerful now than Ghana. Now we can't compare Ghana to South Korea. So go agree with Malik for the state to change our mindset in terms of our political leaders across.
Thank you very much. That was Collins from Kumasi agreeing. I think he's the second person to mention education. Samuel is also calling from Kumasi. Good morning, Samuel.
Hello.
Yes, Samuel, you're on air. What is your suggestion? How do we begin to correct where we are now?
You see, what I want to say is that
and your panelists over there.
Yeah.
The problem did not start from today or yesterday. It's a long-time problem. But to me, it's leadership. Leadership is the problem.
So what must leaders do to change it? What must be done to move Ghana forward?
The leaders must change their lifestyle of dealing with rules and regulations within the country, because the rules and regulations become selective. When I come to your studio, the Joy FM studio, if you tell me to sit down, I will sit down. But if you tell me to sit down and I say I'm going to stand, then you let me go out from the studio. I'm not ready to go according to rules and regulations of Joy FM. So far as we elect them, whether the churches, the traditionalists, the clergies, whatever, they are the leaders. We put them there to use the rules and regulations or the bylaws to lead us so that we can go to the land of Canaan. But they are making the law selective. The law will go against somebody. Tomorrow the law will free somebody.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel, for calling us from Ho. Nana is on the line from Ridge. Good morning, Nana. Good morning, Nana.
Dan.
How be?
How be?
I did for you, boss. So what's your suggestion? What's the solution?
For those people there, let's leave them. I think one of the things I will look at is what is called the people at the churches, for instance. Do you know, one time Uncle Ebos said something. He said that when he was about to get married to the wife, you know, the marriage later, or the day of where the ceremony needed to take place, the church wasn't decorated. Why? Someone said that the pastor said because Uncle Ebo and the wife didn't come to see him. What do you understand by that, Daniel? I think with the churches, that those kind of things need to be actually questioned as to how the money is being used and those kind of things. If a pastor is telling you that you need to see him and a politician is saying that you need to come and see him, what's the difference between the two of them?
So you agree with Awo and Esther about when they say we should question our leaders, whether they are religious leaders or political leaders?
Of course, because that we are in a country where the pastor is more or less like a god himself.
Thank you very much for calling, Nana from Ridge. My namesake is calling from Amra here. Good morning, Daniel.
Right, good morning, Daniel.
How be you?
I'm good, and you?
I am blessed. Let's hear you. What do you think we must do?
You see, we are all here blaming leaders. But all we need to appreciate is that the leaders were once a while like us. Before they were elected to be presidents, ministers, MPs. So if you, as an individual now, don't appreciate the fact that let me do the right thing. If you are doing the wrong thing now, definitely when you are made a leader tomorrow, you are going to repeat the wrong things you are doing now. So whether we blame the leaders, I don't think the leaders are doing anything different from what we, the citizens, are doing.
Right. Thank you very much, Daniel, for calling. Thought-provoking comments there. Jeff is also calling from Kumasi. Mr. Jeff. Good morning, Mr. Jeff.
Yes. Good morning, my brother.
Yes. What's the solution? Where do we begin from?
You see, our institutions have failed us. We live in a country where even the courts has been caught on tape taking bribes in broad daylight. These things are going on. And that the announced video was just of an iceberg. Come to the police service. I'm telling you that the institutions that are supposed to address these wrongs are the same institutions that are perpetrating the wrongs.
Okay.
So our leadership, if the government is highly interested in fighting this.
Sorry, Jeff, the line is very, very bad. I'll have to move to my last caller for today, Peter from Domabing. Good morning, Peter.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, what are your thoughts? What do you think we should do?
Bernard, this morning, let me greet you and greet your colleagues that you are working with for the good work you are doing for Ghana. In fact, Bernard, you know, we are talking about corruption, right? Hello?
Bernard, Peter, please go ahead.
Yes, I said we are talking about corruption, right?
We are talking about attitude.
Attitude, sorry. You know, Bernard, sometimes, most of the time, we think as Ghanaians, we always talk about the attitude of appointees and politicians. But you know what? The attitude of our civil servants, our public service workers. You see, sometimes you always think that, the politician is this and is that. But sometimes our attitude towards work in our various offices, can you believe that you go to hospital, something that a nurse should do or is doing for you to say, the nurse will be sitting down for you to go and beg or to go and cry before. And again, when you go to our public offices, let me learn. When you go to our public office,
right? Unfortunately, Peter would have to end this here. Thank you very much for calling. Peter called us from Doma Bing. I'm going to take final comments from my friends in the studio. Then I'll take a boatload of text messages as I have, and then we would move on. Okay, let me begin with you, Ao. Yes, your final comments on all of this. We need to come out with sort of an idea of where we should begin from, even if it's going to be just the four of us in the studio who are deciding to do this. It would go a long way at the end. So what do you want to do? What do you want us to do?
Yes, I'm definitely not making excuses for certain behaviors of us citizens when it comes to indiscipline and our own corrupt practices. But I still maintain that the person or the party who has to set the tone is those who have been given that responsibilities. It has to come from the leaders. Okay. If you are preaching austerity, let us see you live it. If you are preaching discipline, let us see you live it. So
okay.
That's what I have to say.
So you are going to demand the right things and you will not make excuses when you see the wrong ones. I got that from what you were saying.
Yes.
Great. Isabel, how about you?
I think it's everyone's duty. Now, we can say leadership and all, but it's everyone. So I would say in our own small way, let's do what is right. Let's practice what we believe if we get to be leaders, we would want others to see done. Okay. So that if the policeman arrests you in traffic and says you've crossed the red light, and he says, say, give me my ticket. Or if he says, follow me to the police station,
you follow him
to the police station. I didn't go to prison. I'm here. So do it. And once it starts that way, I think gradually we will get somewhere. So that the next time I get to be a public figure, I know that, okay, I'm preaching what is right. And I have that burden on me to do what is right for others as well.
Thank you very much, Isabel Malik.
Daniel, when you hear the statement, and you hear it all the time, that Ghanaians are magicians, what does it mean? In simple terms, people are living beyond their means. But when they say magician, do you really command the money? It means you take it from somewhere where you are not supposed to take it. Because if you live beyond your means, it means you are taking money from somewhere, money that you are not entitled to. So all of us must begin to live within our means. That every single one of us, wherever we are, must recognize that the only way we can build a better society is for all of us to put in our bit.
Okay.
That wherever you are, private, public, personal, that you must put in your bit. That if you have to go and work, don't leave it and say, some Malam said that, I will prosper regardless of what. Some pastor says, I will prosper regardless of what. Don't leave your work and go to church or go to mosque. So that throughout the week, there are people in church and there are people in the mosque and everybody is praying because we want prosperity. But you have to work. There's no substitute for it. That we must recognize that and we must pay people their due. We have to build a society in which hard work and diligence are virtues, honesty and integrity are virtues, are values.
By starting it ourselves in our personal lives.
Absolutely. In our personal lives.
Thank you very much, Malik Abbas Dabo.
This October, we sing to the heavens as the MTN stands in worship. It's been a great year, and we have every reason to go before the throne in thanksgiving. Come, let's worship our Maker as we are led in worship by great